Cyberbullying is different than traditional bullying, but it's equally devastating. It's a problem that affects all of us, and we need to work to stop it. A few years ago, a friend of mine called to tell me what had happened to her 9th grade son. She was sobbing, and she was so upset that it was upsetting to me to hear what she had to say. She shared with me the fact that her son had received a text message that said, "I wish you were dead." Well, he didn't receive that message from one person. He received it from so many people at the same time that it literally shut his phone down. My friend's son was hurt and very deeply devastated by it. And even after intensive counseling and a change of schools, he was never the same again, and he still struggles with depression to this day. Cyberbullying can cause devastation to those affected by it. Therefore, we should take measures to prevent it and stop it from happening. Most of you probably know somebody who's been cyberbullied. It's important we recognize the negative impact it has so that we can work together to bring an end to it. I have witnessed the destruction of cyberbullying firsthand, and statistics also support the damage that results in the lives of its victims. Cyberbullying is a very real problem facing kids of all ages, but there are steps we can take to prevent it from happening, ways we can work together to bring an end to it. Cell phones, tablets, iPods, you name it. So many technological devices that allow kids to send messages to one another. However, there are also kids receiving messages, and oftentimes they're hurtful. StopBullying.gov defines cyberbullying as bullying that takes place using electronic technology, text messages or emails, rumors sent by email or posted on social networking sites, and embarrassing pictures, videos, websites, or fake profiles. The same website says cyberbullying is different than bullying because kids often have a harder time getting away. They say cyberbullying can happen 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they can even reach a child when he or she is alone. The 2014 National Crime Prevention Council indicates that 43% of teens were electronically bullied within the past year. That's 43 out of every 100 kids. Electronic devices make it easy for cyberbullying messages to be spread quickly. And StopBullying.gov says it can be difficult, sometimes impossible, to trace the source, and deleting inappropriate or harassing messages, texts, and pictures is extremely difficult after they have been posted and sent. Sadly, kids who are bullied are often victims of cyberbullying as well. Often, technological bullying is a follow-up or continuation to bullying that had actually happened to somebody earlier that day. Cyberbullying leaves kids feeling alone and scared. NoBullying.com lists some of the signs and effects that someone is being bullied. Not wanting to go to school, a sharp drop in grades and performance, skipping school, sudden self-esteem issues, complaints and illnesses, and the use of alcohol and drugs. Cyberbullying should be considered a very serious matter. Students have taken their own lives because they felt pressured, embarrassed, and they felt they had no other alternatives. Unfortunately, cyberbullying can potentially affect all of us at some point. But fortunately, there are steps we can take to protect our loved ones and keep it from happening. Recognizing cyberbullying as a problem and understanding the signs of those suffering are important starting points. There are also ways we can work to prevent it and actions we can take if it happens. It's important to stop it before it starts. In an effort to prevent cyberbullying, the National Crime Prevention Council recommends that you kids refuse to pass along cyberbullying messages. Tell your friends to stop cyberbullying. Block communication if you receive any from a cyberbully, and delete the messages without reading them. Never post or share your personal information online or your friends. Never share your internet passwords except with your parents. Talk to your parents about your online life, and don't put anything online you wouldn't want your classmates to see, even in an email. Don't send messages when you're angry or upset, and always be as polite online as you are in person. Taking these steps doesn't guarantee that it won't happen, but you're more likely to avoid it and prevent it if you practice those precautions. If you or someone you know is being targeted by a cyberbully, first, there are phone numbers and help websites. You can begin by Googling cyberbullying help. Second, helpguide.com recommends don't respond. Don't give them the reaction they're looking for, and don't be a bully in return. There are legal consequences. If you've witnessed cyberbullying or you've been a victim, helpguide.com also recommends taking these steps. Keep the evidence. Report the threats of harm or sexually inappropriate material, because many times the offense can be prosecuted by law. And third, be relentless in reporting bullying. Many times the bullying will continue over time, but don't ignore it or look the other way. Prevent future communication from cyberbullies by blocking them or reporting them to the internet service provider. Recognizing the problem of cyberbullying, understanding the steps to prevent it, and taking the necessary actions to stop it will help in bringing cyberbullying to an end. Can you imagine that moment when you realized you helped prevent cyberbullying by setting a good example, or how it would feel to know you stopped to help someone and they were spared the pain from cyberbullying? When you and your friends choose to take steps to bringing an end to cyberbullying, you are setting a moral example for others. When you send a message that it's not okay, your classmates and friends will likely follow. The National Crime Prevention Council recommends educators and administrators can help as well by putting together acceptable internet use and anti-cyberbullying policies at school. If you fail to take a stand, you allow yourself and others to be at risk because it's happening every day in your school. According to thehelpguide.com, 92% of teens who were cyberbullied knew their victimizers, and half of those teens knew the bullies from school. I challenge each of you to help and make a difference. Take a stand against cyberbullying. Remember, it's a very real problem, but you can take steps to prevent it, and you can work together with teachers and friends to stop it. Set your minds to taking action against cyberbullying and be there to help and support others if they're being targeted. Most of all, work together to bring an end to it. Don't allow harmful messages destroy the life of another. Work to prevent cyberbullying, and most of all, be the difference you hope to see in others.